It was a brilliant bank holiday weekend with a win and a draw against the top two in the league. But this week has just got even better with yourself signing a new deal. So congratulations on the deal. But we've seen your comments on social media. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just echo what I'm saying on the interview I had with the guys here at the club. It's not a job, it is my life. I've been here a long time. Obviously, been a manager here for now 7 seasons, but I started back in 2005, 2006, and it's been a large part of my life. My family love it here. I'm 6 miles up the road in Barnet. And it's a progressive club. It's one that I see improving year on year, and that's something that I want to be a part of. And yeah, look, I spoke about it, very disappointed in terms of how the season's panned out over the course of the year. But we're back in the history books again, and every year we make history at this football club, and that's something that I'm very proud of. And I'm fortunate enough that 7 years ago he gave me an opportunity to take the reins, and I'm not foolish. I know at any other National League club I wouldn't be getting that job. So I like to repay the man because I adore him, and yeah, hopefully we can create even more memories and more history in the 3 years and longer that I'm here at the club.
And you've signed a 3-year deal, as you just mentioned. Where do you see both yourself and the club in 3 years' time?
Oh, some question, mate. Off the park, very progressive. Obviously, the plans that are happening this summer in terms of the builds and the plans that the chairman has in place with the stand and the educational side of things, really exciting. Obviously, I dipped my toe in a lot of them affairs, being the head of football, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a lot of meetings. I was in a meeting with a college provider or an A-level provider on Wednesday, I believe it was, and they're the insights that I don't think other managers get. And I know how this club's sort of built from the bottom up, and I'm appreciative of that. And that side of things really progressive. In terms of the football side of things, we've got a good group already signed on. We're looking at 6 to 7 additions. Obviously, I'm giving them personnel being the top end players because I want to work with the best in the division and the division above. We've got to be realistic because with the clubs that are in it, there's budgets that are way, way higher than ours. So we might not potentially shop at the top table, but with what we offer in terms of our professionalism, our training, our facilities, getting a player here, that's half the job. So going back to your question, continually being progressive and competitive in the National League, because I genuinely believe it's a very, very good division. You see that in terms of the personnel that's still going to be remaining this year, whether that's still a Wrexham, a Notts County, a Grimsby, a Chesterfield, if none of them or only one of them can only get promoted. So yeah, being competitive in the division. We'll strive for the EFL as we do every year, and we've got to get it right once, and that's our tagline here at the football club. But we need to just continue small steps, building blocks, and if we do that, we'll be progressive on and off the pitch.
There's been some rumours in the week of Kane Smith's departure from the club. Are you able to disclose anything about these rumours?
Well, I believe the chairman made it very apparent in the matchday programme. Kane has been here now 5 years. He's one that I adore as an individual, as a player. He has the mindset of a non-league player coming from Hitchin, and that's something that I really appreciated. And I think we've progressed him on the park hugely. And I think that his job away from here, being in the academy with us, away from the first team with the academy, has progressed him in his learning, that side of things. So I think the 5 years, it's been a match made in heaven. Unfortunately, he has ambitions and aspirations to be an EFL player. We've done everything in our power to keep him. The chairman went out full throttle to offer him a deal to get his services here for a further 2-3 years. Unfortunately, Kane wants to go and progress elsewhere, which that's part and parcel of football. But I remember the Wembley year. I know that he got injured here against Fylde. Then obviously the chairman went and got him his operation, and Kane then signed an additional deal with us off the back of that. And then we've had some 3 very good seasons since the year out with him, whether that's Halifax, Harrogate, whether that's Millwall, whether that's Bournemouth, Everton. So yeah, I'll look back on fondness as opposed to bitterness, because he's a friend of mine and this club for the remainder of our time, because his dad coming to games, his twin sister. Yeah, this is someone that will always be welcome 100%. And I know that I'm echoing what the chairman would say. And we've had a good service and a return from Kane at this football club, and we wish him all the best. Obviously, it's now my task and Charlie's and the chairman's and the management team to go and get someone that's level, if not better than Kane, and that's going to be some task, because I genuinely believe he's one of the 2-3 best right wing backs in the division. But again, people move on, and he goes with my wishes as from the club as much as mine.
And tomorrow we're heading down south to Yeovil. What can we expect from that game tomorrow?
A manager in Charlie Lee that played at a very good level. I know him personally, like Charlie. Obviously, he's got in an interim assistant manager in Jody Brown that's brilliant for him, I can imagine, because he's managed at the level in terms of National League, National South, and it's a shoulder for him to lean on. This is Charlie's first job, and no disrespect, when I was given the job here 7 years ago, it could be my first and my last job. I think he's done really well. You can see his structure, the way he wants to play. They're a good side, got real good personnel in their teams. I think Newville's done very well after the back of a bad injury. He's come back, finding his form. Knowles, who I've always adored and liked. Daryl Gorman, that I think's one of the best midfielders in the division. Wilco, who obviously I played with and played for this football club. Again, when he plays, fundamentally, they have more chance of winning. Going to be tough. Going to be really, really tough. Obviously, they've fallen away slightly in terms of finishing possibly in the top 10. They'll have ambitions to finish as high as possible. But I know Charlie, he ain't going to roll over and let us tickle his belly. He's going to go and fight for every remaining points that are available. And we have a game plan on this week, because we had the 2 days off on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we had 2 good sessions yesterday and today. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes to plan. And we're victorious and we come away from Yeovil with 3 points.
Following the red card on Monday and all the injuries, we do have a lack of defenders. Can we expect to see a change of shape, or have you got a surprise in store and someone else that can slot into that left centre-back role?
So Lloyd Doyley's trained all week. He's going to drop in at left side centre-half. No, I'm only messing. We've got James Comley. So Coms he's done it against Barnet. He's done it in previous games. And we're quite content. You know how much, like in my shape, like in a 3-5-2, I think we got the best personnel for that. We recruit for that. So yeah, Comley will go in. I know Yeovil will have assumed that anyway, because they would have done their homework with regards to Comley. Yeah, I like to have 2 up top. I like to have our wing backs, and I think Comley can do that. He's and yeah, he'll slot in there at left side centre half.